శుభోదయము అందరికీ నమస్కారములు నమో నమః. So today we have a new topic and our guest speaker is Kumar garu. Let us start with Vande Mataram and Prarthana. After that we will introduce the speaker to all of you. Let us have Vande Mataram from CC Babu garu.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayajasi Kalam, Tasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Subrajyosna pulakitayaminim pullakusumita drumadala shobhini suhasini sumadhura bhashini sukhadam varadam mataram vande mataram vande mataram. నమస్కారం.
ధన్యవాదములు చల్లా చిట్టుబాబు గారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. నౌ we will have ప్రార్థన from వసుంధరాజీ. ప్లీజ్.
నమస్కారः సర్వేభ్యः. ప్రథమం एकं निमिषं ध्यानम् अनन्तरं ओंकारं ध्यानम्. ఓంకారం. శుక్లాంబరధరం విష్ణుం శశివర్ణం చతుర్భుజం ప్రసన్నవదనం ధ్యాయేత్ సర్వవిఘ్నోపశాంతయే. సరస్వతి నమస్తుభ్యం వరదే కామరూపిణి విద్యారంభం కరిష్యామి సిద్ధిర్భవతు మే సదా. శరదిందు సమాకారే పరబ్రహ్మస్వరూపిణి వాసరాపీఠ నిలయే సరస్వతి నమోస్తుతే. అసతో మా సద్గమయ తమసో మా జ్యోతిర్గమయ మృత్యోర్మా అమృతంగమయ. మాతృదేవో భవ పితృదేవో భవ ఆచార్య దేవో భవ అతిథి దేవో భవ. గురుర్బ్రహ్మా గురుర్విష్ణుః గురుర్దేవో మహేశ్వరః గురుః సాక్షాత్ పరం బ్రహ్మ తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. Now let us introduce the speaker to all of you. I request Lalita ji to introduce.
Sarvebhyah namaskaraha. Our speaker Saravana Kumar garu, we welcome you with a warm welcome. I would like to introduce him to all to our SD course participants and to all the august audience gathered here. Saravana Kumar garu is basically a law graduate, and he has done his master's in commerce. He's a commerce graduate who has done ICWAI also, and he's done PhD in Vedanga Jyotishya and currently also pursuing PhD in Vaastu. And he's from Veda Samskruti University. He did his first PhD in Vedanga Jyotishya, and he's done his PG diploma in Vastu from Telugu University and MA Vastu also. Presently doing PhD, and he will talk to us about practical Vastu. He is a faculty also in JKR Astro Research Foundation, and he's teaching Meena to Nadi system astrology every Sunday. And he's a prolific speaker also, so he's accepted our invitation. So on behalf of Veda Samskruti Samiti and our SD course, all our participants and all the audience present here, a very warm welcome to you, sir. Please take over the session and you deliver us about practical Vastu. That is the topic. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much. Pranam to my Puja Guruji, N.V. Raghavachari Garu, and pranam to my Guru, Dr. M.V. R. Raja Garu, and pranam to everyone. Today, we will discuss about the practical Vastu. I am not going to touch any theoretical part because we all know what is Vastu. From when it is started 6,000, 7,000 years back, it is mentioned in the Ramayana, Mahabharata. So all those things we know theory. But today in present scenario, how Vastu is being used, that we should know, because everybody is telling Vastu. But how far it is correct, that we should analyze it. So a small meaning is the word Vastu is derived from the Sanskrit word. It's a Vasati. Vasati means it is a house and happy living. So Vastu is it's a practically a science of building or the science of structure. This is what Vastu. That means it's arrangements of things in a house or in a building. So what are the things that we will see? As on today, Vastu is a combined wisdom of the past and the present. Why past means? Past is the knowledge of the many our rishis, maybe we can call it as a architects, who were responsible for the construction of buildings or palaces or temples. So from their knowledge, the present architectures or the present all consultants, they are following, they are learning from the predecessors, and now they are following. So there is no particular principle like physics or chemistry, how they are giving. If this is the action, this is the reaction. Like such principles are not there in the Vastu, so we cannot call it as a pure science. It is a applied science. We can call it as a applied science. Why? Because if you see in a row houses, the place is same, the plan of the buildings are same, but in every house, all are not getting the same result. They are getting the results, but not the same results. If it is a pure science like physics or chemistry, if this action is there, this is the reaction, so this is the result. So if in Isanya, if this is the mistake or this is the this is where it should be there, like means all should get the same result. because it is not so. So we are not calling as a pure science. It is a applied science based on the experience of our predecessors. We are clubbing all the results, whether good or bad, and we are implementing and we are trying to arriving the solutions in the present scenario. So we will call it as a applied science, not as a pure science. This is purely maybe my thought. So whether first we should believe the Vastu or not is the question. If we believe astrology, we should believe Vastu also. Because we are Indians, we are sentimental persons. So definitely, I think everyone believes astrology. So we believe Vastu also. Here the question comes whether astrology is got an upper hand or Vastu has got an upper hand, which is superior. Here the question is which is not the superior. Everyone is superior, but everything is superior. But here the astrology is like a big tree. So any tree without branches, we cannot imagine. Similar way, astrology has got various branches. So one of the branches is Vastu. So we should believe astrology and we should believe Vastu because we are Indians. If we believe astrology, definitely in astrology, total 9 planets are there. That is 5 planets, 2 luminaries, and 2 chayagrahas, the Rahu and Ketu. Same 9 planets are applicable in Vastu also. But in astrology, whenever the Desha or Bhukti or Antara, that means Desha, Antardesha or Videsha comes, that time only whether the positive or the negative results will come, that time only we are doing the pariharas. Before maybe 3 months or 6 months, we do the pariharas for the coming periods. If the such planet is placed in a maybe in a bad houses, we do the parihara. Because we are in the earth, we will not consider earth as a planet, and remaining 9 planets we are considering. This is astrology. But when it comes to the Vastu, the main Vastu is depending on the 5 elements, that is earth, water, fire, air, and space. But in this 5 also, the important element is earth. In the astrology, we are considering all planets will give the results, though they are very far off to the earth. Because the planet's light is falling on the earth, so they will influence the human beings living on the earth. When such a planet is influencing human beings living on the earth, we are living on the earth and every minute we are touching the earth. Without touching the earth, we cannot live. Then how much influence will be there on the human being? That is the reason we should believe the Vastu, because we are continuously in touch with the earth, it will give the result. But in astrology, when the bad desas are coming, we are doing the pariharas. But in Vastu, we should continuously do the pariharas. Here, not the pariharas, we should know what to do and what not to do. Sorry, something is coming on the screen. It is coming to me or to all of you, sir?
To you only.
1 second. Yeah, thank you. It's my problem. Yeah. So Vastu means do's and don'ts, because from the day one, once we take the birth, we are going into a house from the hospital. So that Vastu, 9 planets influences us. So from the day one, if we believe, we should follow the Vastu principles and what to do and what not to do. If we do, it will help us. If we don't do, it will not help. We have to maybe accordingly we have to face the problems. So the elements in the Vastu are earth, water, fire, air, and space. In this, the earth is the main element. So all these 5 elements, how to use is the only Vastu. It is a simple and practical. There is no rocket science in this. If you use these 5 elements proportionately or equally, then Vastu is, it's set. When the Vastu is applicable. See, when we born, maybe our height will be 1.5 or 2 feet maximum, maybe 1.5 feet. But now I am 6 feet high. When I will grow? Science tells when we are in sleep, our height will increase. So where you sleep is applicable for the Vastu. In which house you sleep, that house Vastu is applicable to you. This is what the first point. So wherever you sleep, that means that is our own house. If you have a simple and perfect Vastu, it gives the good result. So because the earth is the main element of the Vastu, what we are missing today is nobody is concentrating on the plot. We have to buy the plot and the construct the house. But nowadays, what people are doing or coming to us is, sir, I have a plot, please give the plan. Or I have a plot, I have a plan, please give the Vastu. If plot they bring, and if we want to give the Vastu, we can give only 50% of the Vastu, not more than that. And remaining Vastu already it is there with the plot, whether good or bad. I'm not telling every plot is bad. But before that, we should identify good plot or land, because main element is earth, bhumi. So the lacking is that, but what we have to do, how we have to identify the perfect plot, means identifying the plot itself, the 50% of the Vastu covers. If the plot is not good, how much Vastu you give, it is of no use. Why means we will see the important points. So many points are there how to identify the good plot, but main points we will touch. So first we have to identify the plot. So to identify the plot in Vastu, plot should be identified based on the Nama Nakshatra and not on the based on the Janma Nakshatra. Janma Nakshatra is used only at the time of Muhurtas in Vastu, but to identify a plot, which direction is suitable to a person, that time we use the Nama Nakshatra. So Nama Nakshatra means name. So here one doubt will come, which name we should use. For example, my name is KVS Kumar, but normally I tell everyone my name is KVS Kumar because nobody pronounces my name correctly. Some people call Sravan, some people call Sravana. So I don't tell my name as a Saravana Kumar. I tell always KVS Kumar. So maximum 80 to 85% of the people calls me as a Kumar. So whenever I want to buy a plot, I should tell my name as a KVS Kumar because it is a Vadkanama, how people will be called you. That is more important because how many people calls you, you will get the vibration to that name. That name will get the vibrations, power. So I should not say my name is Kanuparthi Venkata Sarvan Kumar, give me the size type, which direction suits you. So your name starts with Kanuparthi Venkata Sarvan Kumar, so first name is K, so yours is East. No, because everyone calls me as a Kumar, so I should take my name as a starts with K or Ka. This is first, because that is the main point. So in Vastu, the Nama Nakshatra is important to select the plot, which direction suits you. It is based on the Nama Nakshatra. So for Nama Nakshatra, what our predecessors have done means Rishis, they have identified 8 Vargas, starting with A. So A to Aha is allocated to the east direction. So after A to Aha, some Kartunya, they have given to the Agneya. That means in a clockwise directions, they have allocated all the Vargas A, Ka, Cha, Ta, Ta, Pa, Ya, and Sa. This is what the Vargas. So based on these Vargas only, we should identify the best suitable direction to a person. If my name starts as a Kumar, there is no problem. It comes under Ka. If somebody's name starts as a Prasad, so Prasad, which Varga falls? We should take as a Pa or not. So Prasad consisting of 2 words, one is Pa, one is Ra. So whatever word ends, we should take that word. Pra means it is a Para, that is Pra. So we should take as a Ra, like Sri Ram. It consisting of 2 words, that is S and R, S, Sri, S and Ra. So we should take Ra as a ending word, and we should see the Varga for the Ra word, not for the Sa. So for Sri Ram, it comes under Ra. For Prasad also, it is Ra, it comes under Ra. So this is the main important, so sometimes we miss it. If single word, there is no issue. But when it comes with Raya, so we should consider as a second word, which one you ends. That is the most important. So when it comes to the Swavarga means self one. If it is a Kumar, it comes as a Ka. So it starts with east facing. So for this Kumar, east facing is the Swavarga. It is suitable to him. This is the main. So for Swavarga, opposite Varga, that is, for example, if Ka is east, that is fifth place, that is west, is the enemy to the Swavarga. For every Varga, 5th house is an enemy Varga. So we should not take the 5th from the Swavarga. But again, there is some exemption. Because, for example, east is a Dvajaya. For Dvajaya, the Adhipati is Eagle, Gargmatu. The 5th is a Dvajaya, Dhumraya, Simhaya, like that. There are ayas are there in Vargas only. If it is a, for example, Akacha, if it name starts with Cha, his Swavarga is a south. For south, the Adhipati is lion. The 5th house north is the enemy house. So he should not take the north facing plot for the Cha Varga. But the exemption is, if the Adhipati is Swavarga Adhipi is stronger than the enemy Varga, he can take the opposite plot. That means north house. So the Cha Varga people starts with the Cha name. They can take the Swavarga is south, but they can take even north facing plot also, because the for north Gajaya is elephant. So lion is the superior than the Simha. Lion is superior than the elephant. So these south facing people, the Swavarga people, they can take even north also. This is what the small exemptions they have given. So from Swavarga means, for example, it is a east. East is the best. Then from there, 1, 3, 6, 7 workers they can take for the construction. For R, that is east facing, they can take south, they can take Vayuvya, and they can take north facing houses. That means when Kavarga people, they can they can put the Simhadwara in the east side and in the south side, in the north side. And when it comes to the Vayuvya, because west is an enemy, even if they take a Vayuvya block plot, they can have a Simhadwara on the north, but not on the west. So the selection of the plot is mainly depending upon the Vargas, not based on the Jyotisha Rasis. If this particular Mesha Rasi people should have this facing, or Kanya Rasi people should have this. We can have that also, but mainly in Vastu, it is based on the Nama Nakshatra. Today, we are missing this because people are coming with the plots, because this commercial people, they have insisting that east and north are the best and west and south are not the good. That is wrong. First, we should know this and we should tell everyone this. North and east, they are selling with more price. If it is a south, north road or east road, they are increasing 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 50 rupees per yard also. But actually, it is not that. Based on the name, which side is suitable, we should know. Even south is also very good, west is also very good. All sides are equal. But only thing is, it should be based on the Vargas. That is applicable to us. So this first point, this is the very first point. And before, after, maybe after completion of the selection of the site based on the Varga, then here we can go to the astrologer. Which site among these three sites, 4, 1, 3, 6, 7, will applicable to me? Because my name starts with K, I can have east, south, north, northwest, and north. These 4 sites I can have. In these 4 also, which is best to know, here we should take the help of the astrologer. Why? Means, if you cast our horoscope, for example, if sun is in debilitation, because sun represents east, I should not go to east. Though east is Swavarga, my main Varga, I should not go because sun is debilitation. I'm giving example K and east. Actually, K is not east. For example, Amala is there. Amala's main Swavarga is east. If in the birth chart, if sun is debilitation, though Amala's Swavarga is east, he cannot take east plot because it will not give the good result. She should go for the remaining 3. For example, in her chart, if the Mercury is debilitation, she should not go for the north. Here we can have the help of astrologers. This both will give the good result, and in my practical experience, this I have smelled. It is giving good result. So first we should go with the Nama Nakshatra. Then you take the help of the astrologer. And among the 4, which is the best? Means you go with the elimination. If sun is exaltation, blindly you go for the east only. Leave it all remaining 3. Then after selection with the Vargas, we have selected, okay, it is east is suitable to me, north is suitable to me. And we have selected some 3-4 plots. Now we should go to see the plot. We should not decide by seeing the paper or any drawing, because drawing will be different. If you go and see the actuals, it will be different, because we need the shapes of the plot. There are so many shapes, but only the square and the rectangular are only acceptable for the construction of a house. And there should be only 4 directions and 4 corners, not more than that. there should not be any 5 directions. It should be only 4 or the 4 corners. That square and rectangular are only acceptable shapes for the construction. Only that circular shape plots are recommends for the educational institutions and not for the houses or for any constructions except educational institutions. So we should go for the square or the rectangular. And in the square, there is no issue. If it is a rectangular square, the length of the east side should be more than the north and south side. That means east facing should be, road facing should be always big, not road facing, east facing. And north and south should be less. This is the one important point we should have this thing, because sun should enter into the house. So if east facing width is more, so from either east or from Isanya or from Agneya, because based on the Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, at least sun rays will enter into the house. So east facing side length should be more than the north and south. This is one important point. So shapes are very, very, very important. When you select the plot, we should give the importance to the degrees. If it is a 0 degree, that means 0 degree to the north. So previously we used to do big exercise for identifying the directions, but nowadays navigator is there. So if you carry the navigator to the a place, it is very easy to identify whether the layout is exactly to the 0 degrees or it is facing the corners or not. We can easily find it. So if it is a 0 degrees, we can consider the plot. If it is not exactly to the 0 degrees, it is only acceptable to the maximum of 8 degrees deviation, not more than that. If east is not exactly east, if it is tilted either side 8 degrees, we can consider this as a east. And if it is more than 8 degrees, then the east is not exact east. This is degrees is it is very, very important. We should not miss it. The plot should not turn into the corners. That is what I mean to say. So we should consider the degrees. So navigator, we can use it, not the old methods. So the first point is Nama Nakshatra. By using the Nama Nakshatra, identifying the plot, which direction is useful to the native. After that, we should go to the astrologer and identify which one among the 4 directions is suitable to us based on the planetary position. It is a support, because previously in olden days, both astrology and Vastu done by, if I am doing astrology, means definitely I will do the Vastu. But nowadays, the Vastu consultant, they are not aware of Jyotisha. That is what the problem here. They are doing only Vastu, not the astrology. That is the reason these problems we are facing. They come with the plot and asking us to give the plan. So sometimes, because as a astrologer, I catch the horoscope and I am seeing also this is not good for him. But I cannot tell this because already they have purchased the plot. If I tell now this plot is not suitable, it is not good from my side. So whatever I know, I will give the Vastu. That is the reason. If anybody comes from the beginning, we can guide us 100%. So we should see the Vargas, identify the plot, then see the chart, and then which is suitable among the 4 you identify, then go to the site, identify the practically with our eyes we should see, not on the paper. Because on the paper, we cannot judge whether any corner is increased or decreased, the shape they can manipulate on the paper. But if you go onto the site, it is clearly we can analyze. So after identifying the sites, so all when site, the shape should be rectangular or the square. No 5-6 directions faces are not acceptable. And plot should be either to east, west, north, south, and not to the corners, northeast, northwest, west, south, and northwest. It should be to the direction only. It should not be the corners. So these are the main things. Next important thing is road. Because we identify the direction based on the road only. Which side road is there, that side is our direction. If the plot is having the east road, then it is called as a east direction. And west, north, south. So road is very, very important because before that, one more point is no plot should be extended. No corner should be extended. That means southwest or northwest or southeast corner, they should not increase or reduce. No extension should be there in these corners. That is the most important. Northeast can be increased, but it should not decrease. And increase also, it is not too much. Maybe half feet, or maybe based on the plot size, maximum is maybe 1 feet. And remaining all corners, that is Agneya, Nairiti, and Vayuvya, when we put the metna in Telangana, it is called metla. L-shaped instrument will be there. If you put in the corners, it should be 90 degrees. So all three corners, Agneya, Nairiti, and Vayuvya, should be 90 degrees, and east can be increased. Northeast can be increased a little bit. So this is very important while selecting the plant. Even if it is increased, while constructing, we should correct it. So before construction, we should correct it. We can purchase it for commercial purpose, not for the construction. If you want to construct, then we should make it all three sides as a 90 degrees, then only we should start the construction. So this is the plot shapes. Next comes to, it is road. The road is also very, very, very important because, as I said, everyone knows Vastu today. If we ask anything, if we are not feeling well in this house, means immediately they will ask, Agneya kitchen is there or not, bedroom is there in the southwest corner or not, how Ishanya, how Vayuvya, everything they will ask. But this is an internal Vastu. If internal Vastu is not good, we have a chance to rectify it, modify it, demolish and rebuild inside. But the Vastu, main Vastu is external Vastu, which is not in our hands. So before buying the plot, we should see the external Vastu to the maximum. If you buy a plot, if it is already a developed area, there will not be any problem because further development will not be there. But if you buy a plot in an open area, even though you buy a plot with all this care, definitely there will be a problem after 5 years or 10 years. That also we will discuss how. So internal Vastu, we can modify it at any point of time. If it is not good, if not placed correctly, then we can correct it. But external Vastu, we cannot do anything once we buy it. Why means, for example, roads. Roads also very important. East, west, north, south. If one road, it is good. If two roads are there, very good. 3 roads are there for a plot, it's a very good, very, very good. If 4 sides are there for a plot, 4 side roads, it is excellent. I think what we should take care means there should not be any road shooters to the plot we are going to buy. Because we cannot do anything. Layout we cannot modify. Because I have seen so many cases in my experience, they come with the plot. If when I see, personally went and see, there was a road shooter. We cannot do anything. And I tried to close to the extent of a shooter, but plot becomes very less. We cannot construct anything. And I cannot tell also, if you construct here, you will not get any good result. So before that itself, we should see all these points. There should not be any road shooter. But one exemption is road shooter is not good in the Nicha Sthana. My experience also, this I have seen. Road shooter is giving the favorable results when it touches the Ucha Sthana. So what is Nicha? What is Ucha means for every direction towards north or east is called the Ucha. For every direction towards west or south is the Nicha. So every direction you divide equally half of. So which is going towards north or east is called Vichasthana, and which is going south or west is called the Nichasthana. For example, if it is a east, if any road shooter is coming and touching the plot towards the east south, that is Turpu Agneya, not Dakshina Agneya, Turpu Agneya, east south, it is not good. If the shooter is towards the east north, that is Turpu Isanya, it is good. It is giving good result. Similar way to the all direction. If it is a south facing, Dakshina Agneya road shooter is giving favorable results, and Dakshina Nairiti is not giving the good results. So we should see the road shooters also, because we cannot modify it. Some people says we can put the Lord Vigneshwara Pratima there, and if you do roju daily puja and naivedya, it solves the problem. In my opinion, I have seen in so many cases that is also not giving the good results. Only thing is the intensity will be reduced to some extent, few days. Afterwards, again, it is giving the bad result. Because if any wound comes on our hand, if you see, definitely we should have a belief in God. I'm not saying I believe in God. If any wound is coming on our hand, if you pray daily God, He will not solve the problem. He will not cure, but He will guide you immediately to go to a doctor. That is what God does. Immediately we go to doctor, He will give medicines, either oral intake or external, so the wound will cure. Similar way, if you put Vigneshwara or any Pratima and do puja, the problem will not be solved. He will maybe guide you to altar, or you may go to any good astrologer or Vastu consultant, and he will guide you this way. But keeping continuously the Lord Vigneshwara or any God's Pratima, in the long run, it is giving bad results only, not the good result. This is what I observed in so many cases. That is why I'm giving this example. Maybe you may make a note of it, and you can share your experiences afterwards. That is the reason the road is also very, very important. And in roads also, for example, if it is a east facing road, definitely road will go from north to south or south to north. It is good. The road should not stop at your side, because you should have a continuation towards the northeast. Then only that plot will give the good result. Otherwise, it will not give. Similarly, north. Similarly, that means for any direction, continuation of road should be there towards east or towards north. This is very important. Otherwise, it is not giving the good result. Sometimes it is called also Vidisola, because the road should not end at our house. We should have a walk towards east or towards north for every direction. If it is a south, road should be continuous from south to east. West to east. It should not stop at our maybe our end of our plot. it is not good. So road is always very important. If road is stopped at our place, for example, if it is a south facing, road is coming from west to east, and road is stopped at our place, and there is no further road. When you come out of your house, maybe from your compound wall gate, definitely you go towards right only, that is towards west. So it is a Nairuti Nadaka. It will not give good result at all. I have seen 100 cases, I have seen 100 bad results. So Nairuti Nadaka, Turpagneya Nadaka, Passima Nairuti Nadaka, Uttara Vayuvya Nadaka is not good. This is I have seen. When road is stopped, but only thing is road should be there. If road is there, this intensity will come down. Road should not stop at our place in any direction. If it is a north, road should be there from east to west continuously. If east is closed, you will go north, west. It is not good. So roads also plays a very, very important role in the selection of plot, because we have to go out means road is important. Then the road shooters. You have seen the road shooters. So in Ucha and Nicha, these are the very important points, Ucha Nicha, when it comes to the even steps, doors. So Ucha Nicha plays a very important role. Then we have seen while selecting the plots, all three corners should be in 90 degrees. No corner should be extended except east, Eastania. Another important point while selecting the plot is slopes. Actually, slopes plays a very important role. Slopes means volume. How water flows, whether water flows from south to north or west to east or east to west. So slope should be always from Nairuti to Eastania or west to east or south to north. And it should not be the reverse case. Because this is based on the angle of the solar radiation. Because the heat comes from the sun, it will not go to the north, northeast, and east, because we know sun rises from east. But strictly speaking, sun rises from east and sets east exact 0 degrees only 2 times in a year. That is March 22 and September 21st. Maybe dates here and there, 21, 22, or 22, 21. And remaining days, it is based on the Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. So Uttarayana, it goes from Isanya, and Dakshinayana, it goes to Dakshinayana, towards south, Agneya. And it goes from east towards Agneya, towards south, towards Nairuti, and sets at the west. That is the reason up to 12 or 1 o'clock, sun rays will be on the Agneya. So kitchen is recommended on the Agneya, because sun rays will be there. Krimi or Ketaka all will be killed with this sun rays. That is why kitchen is recommended in the Agneya. So when sun goes from east, Agneya, south, and Nairuti to set at the west, north, northeast, and west, always less light will be there. Why north or northeast or west we should leave more space means because of this reason. If you construct close to your border, where you get light, so 24 hours you have to use the current. But if you give space, so natural light will be there. That is the reason east or north or northeast corner, we should leave the more space to have a more brightness. And another reason why we should leave more space in the north, northeast, and east means because Earth moves towards North Pole. It is a magnetic power. So that magnetic power influences nerves in our system. If more power is there, magnetic power, diseases will come. So north and east. East is a sun. Again, we round around the sun. So the corner north-eastana, that means north and north power, east and east power, both put together, it will be there in the northeast. So northeast also we should leave more space. If northeast is very close to your border, if any construction is made in the northeast, like any buildings or steps, any construction, it will influence on the nervous system of the people living in that house. That is the reason we should have a more space in the north or northeast, or these are the reasons. This is what we discussed in the beginning. There is no specific rule, like there is an action and the opposite reaction is there, not like there is a specific reasons in Vastu. That is why this is applied. We are learning every day with our principles given by our predecessors, and on our experience we are learning. If this is there in one house, one incidence is happening, in another house, another incidence is happening. If it is a principle like a pure science, only one result should come. It is not coming. Result is coming, but different results are coming, good or bad. That is why we are applying every day and we are learning every day. So we are talking about the slopes and we have diverted to these things. So why always slope should be there towards the north, the northeast and east means because of this reason. It's a solar angular this thing. So if the slopes are in a different, not only to our plot, we should see even the external slopes also. For example, if it is a south facing plot, the slope should be, downward slope should be there from the west to east. Your road slope should be, south should be little high and west, and east should be down. If it is a reverse case, it is not good. See, if it is not good means nothing bad result will come, sir. The only thing is we have to put the more efforts. We have listened so many times. Constructed a house as per Vastu, but we are facing, we are not giving. There is no promotion in the office. There is not good education to the children, or not my son or daughter is not getting married. Why? Because means these are the small things we ignore. We should not ignore, because all whatever points we are discussing, all are important in the selection of the plot. We should not forget this. So slope is also important. Next point is testing of the soil. Actually, we nowadays we need not do the testing of soil because so many geologists are there. If we give it to them, they will give the report whether the soil is good or bad, whether we can construct in this plot or not. Everything they will give, but previously Vastu consultant used to do all this testing of soils and water source, whether water source is there. Without water we cannot live today, because we cannot depend on the municipal water. So definitely we should have a bore in our house. So whether the plot or whatever we are going to buy, whether in that plot, whether water sources are there or not, also we should see. After constructing, if you think for the boring, it is very difficult. And one more important point as per Vastu is we should construct the house with our own water. The water taking from our plot. That is the reason previously we should dig wells. Now it is bore. So definitely before selecting the plot, we should have a whether the water source is available in the plot or not, we should see. So we can go for the geologist, and whether that water we can drink it or not also, they will give any chloride content is there or not, they will tell. So they will give the full report. But only thing is, we should suggest our client, please test the plot whether water sourcing is or not there or not. So that is also one of the important point. Another thing now, what we are seeing nowadays is, we don't know, because it's a group construction activities are going, whether independent houses or duplex houses, or it's a flats, gated community. Because everybody is buying and we are also buying. After buying, everybody is facing. Somebody is facing. Some people are happy. It's based on the plot. One example where I identified is in the Nacharam, in near Apsiguda, one gated community was constructed. Because my office is Nacharam, I know every line and every road. They have constructed almost 50% of their gated community on the graveyard. 2-3 employees from our company, they have purchased and they are living. Okay, they are not happy. That is a different thing. So we should see the plots whether they are nearer to the graveyards or cremation grounds, or opposite to the nursing homes, hospitals, or any markets. We should see, or temples. If it is nearer to market, what will happen? You can ask. See, we should live happily. If daily, if you see similar type of voices, it will influence us. Why it should not be nearer to the hospitals? People will come with bad faces. They will cry. Graveyards, you know how people's their position will be. So it is not good. That is the reason we should avoid nearer to these places. It should be away from the such places. But this is lacking nowadays. This is a very pathetic, but we have seen the examples on the graveyards. Besides the graveyards, if you open the window, you can see the graveyards, cremations. So as a Vastu concept, not Vastu, it's a normal, anybody can tell easily this is not correct. But there is no other chance. Everybody wants to nearer to the office. So they are taking and they are suffering. So as a person, if anybody comes to us, we should not suggest. If they take it, that is up to them. The point is, I told in the beginning, when we select the plat, we see all these points and we select. If it is already developed area, if any big buildings are there, east or north side to the plot which you are going to buy, it will not give the good result. So north and east side, there should not be any 5 floors or 10 floors flats. So besides 10, 15 or 5 floors plot, if you construct a single house, it will not give good result. This is practically I have seen. That is why I'm telling practical Vastu, because I am there in Vastu since I think 1999, 2000, almost 20 years experience. I have seen so many in these cases, or hemming between 2 big plots, east or west or north. Also 2 big buildings will be there, maybe 3 or 4 floors, and in between only 1 single floor will be there. And in that, the persons living in that house also, they are not happy. So nothing will happen in Vastu, because death will not take place based on the Vastu. But house, if Vastu is not good, it will give the difficulties equal to the death, but not death. Death means we should go to the astrology, And the combination of the planets only will give the death in the Desha Bhukti Antara, and single planet also will not give the death. Because astrologer will be a Vastu consultant, but nowadays Vastu consultant is not an astrologer. So they will argue differently. And some people will ask, some people will argue which one is superior. Nothing is superior. Astrology is astrology, Vastu is Vastu. But the difference between the Vastu and astrology, maybe I wanted to tell whether it is relevant or not, I don't know. As I told, astrology is a tree and Vastu, Ratna Shastra, Homa, Japa, all these things are branches. But astrology without these branches, it will not survive. Because to give the parihara, when the bad period comes, in the astrology, it should depend on these branches only. You do this parihara. You do this Vastu correction. If anybody's astrology in the chart, if Saturn is in 4th house or Rahu is in the 4th house, definitely there will be a problem in his house. Whenever he construct, wherever he construct, definitely he will construct with small problems. His house will not be 100% Vastu. So we should go for the remedy. So remedy means again all branches. But if you follow Vastu from the day one, it is not depending on your Desha, Bhukti or Antara. But you follow from the day one. When your Desha or Bhukti or Antara, as per your astrology, when it comes bad period of Desha or Bhukti or Antara, if your house is good, the bad intensity will be less. If your Desha or Bhukti or Antara period is very good, your Vastu is very good, you will get best result during the Desha, Bhukti and Antara. If your Desha or Bhukti or Antara is not good, that means that planets are posited in your chart maybe in 6 or 8 or 12 houses, their Desha or their Bhukti or their Antara, that Desha Lord, Bhukti Lord or Antara Lord in 6-7 axis, definitely he will give the bad result. If your Vastu supports, the intensity will be less. But in the bad period of Desha or Bhukti or Antara, even your Vastu is also not good, the bad intensity is very high. This I have seen. That's why I'm telling confidently. Astrology is 60%, Vastu is 40%, maybe 60-65, maybe 30-35. But astrology is the main because it is a branch of Vastu is a branch of astrology. So we should not feel bad or good. I'm an astrologer, so astrology is superior. I'm a Vastu consultant. We should not feel bad. Oh, this is not only 35%. No. If you follow Vastu from the day one, even if you get the bad Desha or Bhukti, Vastu will support 100%. It will not give much difficulties. But Vastu will not give any death. Please, this keep it in mind, because as I listened from so many people, after going into those house, my mother died or my father died. No, this is based on their Desha, their Bhukti or their Antara, not because of house. Definitely, difficulties will be there if Vastu is not good, but not death. This I will not accept based on my experience. And for any plot or while selecting, there should not be any big mountains or big trees to your north or to your east. That is also one important. Trees maybe we can remove, but mountains we cannot remove. And that too very nearer to your house. If it is away 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, we can ignore it. But nearer to your layout, it is not that good. But if the same is in the south or west side, we can consider. That is not a problem. Similarly, any ponds or lakes, it should be on the north or the east side and not on the west or south side. If any lake or any water flow is there towards east or north, even thereof, it is good, no doubt. If any small water flow is there in front of the plot or in front of your layout, that flow also we should see whether water is flowing. For example, if it is a east facing, the water flow is there from the south to north or from the north to south. If the flow is from the south to north, it is good. It gives favorable result. If it is from the north to south, it will not give the good result. These are all the small points, minute level, but this plays a very important while giving the result. We don't know it is good or it is bad. We are not getting any result, but we have seen to the consultant, he has given good Vastu, but we are not getting the result. Means these are all the points we should observe. We are not observing nowadays because they are coming with the plots and we are giving the Vastu. Put the kitchen here, put the bedroom here. But that is not the so. Another point is the vacant space to your plot. If the vacant space to your plot is towards the north or the east, it is always good. Your south or west should be filled up with the houses. There should not be any vacant place immediately to your house. This is also will not give the good result. Whenever you want to buy a plot from your plot, you should not go west or south. You should go always to east or north. This is also very important point. Actually, in the beginning itself, I forgot to tell you. We should see whenever you want to select a plot, we should see the gram arvana. But nowadays it is very difficult to see because I'm not seeing this, because based on the name and the number, there is some calculation. So which direction is suitable from the place of your residence? For example, now you are residing at X place. From X place, you should go to east, west, north, south. This is a gram arvana. So which side it indicates, we should go to that side only. But nowadays in the cities it is not possible because my office will be at one place. So I want to be nearer to my office. So I cannot go. If my office is south side to my present house, maybe I'm in a rented house. So I want to buy a house. I cannot go as per this calculation towards east because again distance will increase. So I should go nearer to my office. So I go to south only or west only, even though the calculation shows east or north. So that I'm not following because of these problems. But if you see strictly, that also it is always good. So these are the some important points I follow every time. Those things only I have discussed now. If I request all elderly people, if anything I said wrong, maybe you can correct it. Or if anybody has got any doubts, they can ask me now.
Okay. ధన్యవాదములండి.
నమస్కారం సార్.
Thank you. Sugunan garu, I will try to unmute you.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Namaskaram.
I have 3-4 doubts.
Yes, sir.
One is that, suppose, you say that on the north side or the east side of the plot, there should not be huge constructions. It should be vacant as far as possible. Suppose when you buy the plot, that is all vacant. And subsequently, the multi-storied construction comes on the north side as the east side of your plot. Then what needs to be done?
Yes, that's why in the beginning itself I told, at the time of the plot we will see nothing is there. But once filling the layout one by one, again Vastu changes. If north or east, if it may be 3-story building or 4-story building, it comes. Definitely, if your financial position allows you, then you should also construct at least 2 floors. Otherwise, you will not get the result. This is 100%. I have faced this problem, particularly in my case. If
Okay.
it is a south or west, yes, no problem. If 4-story building is to your south side or to your west side, it is good, because as per Vastu, it should be there. Weight should be there, and high building should be there. But in the north or east, if 3-story building is coming after maybe 10 years, if your financial positions allows you, please try to construct at least 1 or 2 floors so that it compensates. And whatever results already you are getting, all forces, 8 side forces, definitely it will try to give the same result. Otherwise, it will slowly, you will not get the good result. That is for sure. This is my observation.
Acha. One more thing, sir. Generally, some people say that if at all the Vastu doesn't apply, if more number of dwellings are, if it is in a multi-story building and all that, suppose 14 floors, 15 floors building and all that, the Vastu never applies.
Then
And
why?
even
Yeah.
in this, even in the gated communities where the number of constructions are many, in that case also you need not really look for the Vastu. Is it true?
Then why they are suffering, sir? I will not believe this. Why they are suffering then? In that case, everyone should be happy.
Okay.
They need not become a CM or Prime Minister of the country, but at least they should feel happy. Why they are not happy?
Okay.
Is so many people I asked, I replied like this only.
Mhm.
I don't think that is correct.
Okay.
Vastu applies. Vastu applies. Yes, sir. You said 3, 4. You have asked only 2.
Yeah, I want the so all the 4 thing to be mentioned. That is the Savarga. You said A to Aha and all that. Like that, the east, that is the east side, north, west, and south.
North? No. For east,
No, for east you said Savarga.
Swavarga.
That is
Self.
Swavarga. That is
Swa.
A to Aha.
Yes.
Okay.
A to Aha. U to Aha.
Okay. How about for north, west, and south?
Northwest means, see, first east is A. Next you come clockwise. Agneya. This A, Ka, Ga, Nya. Then Cha. South is Cha. Cha, Jajja, Ini. Like that you have to come. Then A, Ka, Cha, Ta, Ta. So west is Ta, Tata, Dada, Na. Vayavya is Pa, Papa, Baba, Ma. North is Ya, Ra, La, Va. Eastanya is Se, Sha, Sa, Ha. These are the letters starting with allocated to these sides. And fifth is always enemy place. We should not go, except the exemption is east and south. Because east is Adipati eagle, opposite west is the snake is the Adipati. So eagle is superior than the snake. Similarly, south is lion, north is elephant. So lion is superior to elephant. So south people can buy north facing plot, but north Swavargu people should not buy the south facing plot.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
But based on this, I see their personal chart. If any planet is debilitation and exaltation, definitely I will map. I said now for East people, if Sun is debilitation, though it is a Swavargu, we should not recommend. Otherwise, he has to perform what we can say. You should put the more efforts. If you put 70% of the heads, you will get normally if your Swavargu is there. In this case, you have to put maybe more than 100% to get the result. That is what the only problem. It is not death will take place or accident will take place. I'm not saying that. You have to do more efforts. So how many days you will put more efforts? 1 day, 2 days, 1 year, 2 years? You cannot put continuously lifelong more efforts. That is the reason we have to see. That's all.
Okay.
Why present Vastu consultants they are not able to see this point is they are not going for the astrology because Vastu is nowadays it's a costly, it's a more ending this thing. So they are not going for the astrology. Only they are learning Vastu tips and they are going for the consultation. That is why this they are missing. I'm not blaming them, but if they learn along with Vastu astrology or say at least minimum Vastu, it is good, so that we can do some justice to the whoever comes to us.
Okay. And the last question is like, Ucha Nicha,
Yes.
if the plot is raising towards this one, north side or the east side, and it is sloping towards south or west, whatever it is. Suppose, you don't have a choice, you want to buy it. In that case, can you correct it? Can you correct it by evening out the land, the leveling the land?
See, if really the layout person comes to me, then we can do it. But if any person coming for the plot, we can do this sloping within our compound wall, not outside the compound wall. That is not in our hands.
Yeah.
And if practically speaking, I'm facing the same problem. My house is a east facing. Water flows from, if rain comes now, road from north to goes to south. I cannot do anything.
Yeah,
I cannot. But it will not give 100% result. It will give only 90%. So the 10% extra efforts have to go. So nothing is take it for granted. If I want to go to buy a milk packet, if I go once now, definitely shop will be closed. So I have to go second time.
okay.
This I'm telling with my experience.
Okay.
This is what we have to put the extra efforts. That's all. If everything is pakka, if you go na, definitely when you go na, that time itself that shop owner opens the door.
Okay.
That is the difference.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right, sir.
Next, Vishwanathan garu.
Namaskaram, sir. My
Sir,
name is
namaskar.
Vishwanath.
Namaskaram, sir.
Very enlightening and informative lecture, and cleared lot of our doubts or apoha, what they call. I have also 3 questions.
Sir.
One is, you mentioned about road shooter. What is road shooter actually? I want to know.
We the Sula.
Is Sula and road shooter same, na?
Yes, sir, same, sir. In English, we this road shooter. In our Indian language, it is a Vedi Sula. That's all.
Okay. Then one more thing is, now the previous person asked about these flats and gated communities.
Yes, sir.
What are the rules for them? Same as plots, or there is some concession?
No, sir. There is a same rules. I think in the beginning of the class, I told even because when our ancestors designed this Vastu Shastra, that time the flats are not there. But same rules are applicable to the Vastu. But
will it be practical to buy flats with this kind of so many rules?
No, only difference while selecting the flat and plot is while select plot we discussed now. While selecting the flat, we should select the plot first. If it is a 500 square yards, for example, flats, they constructed, for example, 20 flats. Facing for some flats on the east side, some flats are west, some are south, or some north. We should not go face Simhadwara of the flat. If the flat Simhadwara is on the east side, we should not see that it is a east facing. First, that plot is facing, for example, for me, for example, we take, for me, is the east facing is suitable. I should see first whether the plot is facing east or not. Not the flat is facing east or not. If plot is facing east, though you don't get east facing flat, there is no problem. If you get east facing flat, it is very good. But first, our primary object is the plot. Your plot should face east. That is Vastu says. Afterwards, you see whether flat is facing east or not. If you get east facing plot, it is very good. Even though if you are not getting east facing plot, we have another 3, 1, 3, 6, 7. See south or Vayuvya or. So Vayuvya you don't get in the flats. So either south or north facing flats are there. You take that one. But primary is plot facing is important even for the flats also.
And the last question is, this Vastu is there in other countries also? Or
yes, sir. It is applicable everything. I have clients from Netherlands. I have clients from America. It is there, but only problem with the foreign countries is not like India. In India, we can construct, we can demolish everything we can do, but in Germany or in Netherlands or even Germany also have, and America, once the plan is approved, they will not take.
They also follow Vastu?
They will not follow.
Hmm.
But Vastu is there. Our Indians are following them.
Not Indians, other countries also this Vastu Shastra is there.
It is there, sir. Sir, all our books they have carried there, sir.
Okay.
They are doing our Gayatri. They are doing our all our this thing. No? We are
And
not
country
following
like,
actually.
country like China.
I don't know about the China, sir, because I don't have anybody in the China.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Pallavi ji.
No, it's Jhansi ji.
Okay,
Namaskar, madam.
Jhansi gar. Jhansi muted or what? Sorry.
Sir, good morning, sir. So I wanted to ask, like, you have told several good points while purchasing plot, but like I am in search of purchasing a flat because plots are not available where I'm staying. Mostly flats are available.
Madam, little slow, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, like you have told the points about purchasing a plot, but I need to purchase a flat because plots are not available in the area where I'm staying.
Okay.
So can you tell me some major points while because some points like we don't get the map, like flats are old, we don't get maps. So there are the major points that I can consider while purchasing the flat.
See, rule is same, madam. Based on your name starting letter, you should select the facing of the plot, not the plot. What is your name, madam?
Sorry, sir.
Your name, madam?
Sir, my name is Pallavi Singhal.
Pallavi means for you, it is a north and west corner is the suitable plot. That means the plot having roads in the west and in the north. Both sides, when road is there, that is VYV Sthana. So that plot is suitable to you. If that plot is plot, I'm not talking about the flat. That plot either Vayuvya or Isanya or south and Nairuti. These four you can take. So when you get such plots, then you select the face of the plot. Remaining all conditions are same. There should not be any road shooter. See, in an independent house, if any road shooter is there, then only that family should suffer with that road shooter. But if road shooter is there to flood, so if 20 flats are there and the road shooter is in the Nichasthana, so the bad effects of that road shooter will be divided to the all the 20 flats, mainly directly facing to the road shooter. It will be divided. That is for sure.
Okay, sir.
So rules are same. First you select the plot, then the flat facing.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. If nobody else wants to ask any question,
Sir, she is there now.
Yeah.
So who-
Namaste, sir.
last
sir.
one, last
Namaskar, ma'am.
Sure. Namaste, sir. It's a very great science and very great knowledge. Thank you very much. But when we listen to a small portion of it, really it is scary for us because we don't know
scary, ma'am.
anything.
No scary.
I have one question, sir. You said that Vastu can be followed Western countries also. Will be the directions opposite or the same directions they have to follow?
Why opposite? Even if you go to America, you should see east, west, north, south. Why you are comparing from India? From India,
No,
it is
because
west.
I thought it is opposite to that country. No, that's why I thought should be the.
No,
Okay,
not
okay.
like that.
Sir,
Rules are same.
another thing is that you said that north mountains should not be there. North
Madam?
should be lower. North
Yes.
mountains and all elevated places should not be there. South should be elevated and water flows from north to south, right? But when
Yes.
you take the India, Himalayas are on the north side and all
Good
rivers
question.
are flowing
Good.
towards south.
No, good. It's a good question, madam. In the Shastra itself, it is mentioned India is opposite to the Vastu.
Hmm.
It is also mentioned when the country is as per Vastu, individuals need not follow the Vastu because already country is protected. If your state is as per Vastu, you need not follow the Vastu. Need not. If your colony is as per Vastu, you need not follow the Vastu. But when it comes to India, it is totally opposite. Isanya should be free and space should be there, but we have a Himalayas. South should be occupied by the hills or but we have a ocean. So
Even rivers are also flowing from north to
yes,
south.
that is the reason Indians, if you believe, must follow the Vastu.
Oh, okay.
This is clearly mentioned. Maybe I can give one reference, book name. This is R. Venkatesh and Dr. S.L. Uday Prabhakar. You read this book, excellent books. It is clearly mentioned in that. China is having this Himalayas on the south side. Why it is flourishing? Now it is going towards the number 1 in the world. Why Israel? You just read this book, it will be clear to you. So Indians should follow the Vastu if we believe. Simple.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Today, then we will meet again on Monday.
Sir.
One more session. Now we will have Prarthana and then Janaganamana.
ధన్యవాదాలు Saran Kumar garu.
Sir, thank you, sir,
for accepting our request and giving the lecture, started giving lectures, and we'll have much more. We'll have a second lecture also on Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let us have this association for future also. For future.
Yes, sure, sir. Think that definitely, sir. ఏమన్నా తప్పులు ఉంటే క్షమించండి అందరినీ.
Thank you very much.
ఏమన్నా కరెక్షన్స్ చేయాలంటే డెఫినెట్ గా చేయండి. I will take it as a definitely. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let us have a Prarthana, please. Vasundharaji.
Mahodaya. Prarthana. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Sarvesham Swastirbhavatu. Om Sarvesham Santirbhavatu. Om Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Satyam Vada Dharmam Chera Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Dhanyavada.
Yeah. Thank you. Dhanyavadamuలు Mahodaya. Now we'll have Janaganamana. Chala Chittibabu garu.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's all stand up and then sing along with him, but don't unmute.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद।
Jai Hind.